Magnus. Got a hugely busy show for you tonight. I'll be looking at John Prescott's achievements since New Labour came to power, and in the other 39 minutes, I'll be asking Magnus Magnusson why Iceland keeps exploding, Jonathan Ross why the Americans can't make films, and on a serious note, wondering what happens if you microwave an egg. But we begin with the problems of being a celebrity. Can you imagine what it would be like to be famous for having done nothing at all? Ladies and gentlemen, Tara Palmer-Tomkinson. Looking lovely. Oh, and shoes. Have a seat. Ah, you look lovely.
I've done nothing at all.
What?
Done nothing at all.
No, we're going to come on to all the things that you've done. So what was the moment then when you think you became an it girl?
I think, well, I know that was when I did the cover of Tatler in '97, of which that was something they created. They called it the It Girls, Normandy and I on the cover of Tatler. And it was a whole sort of, it just took off, didn't it?
Did it? Who's Normandy? It was a place. Who is Normandy?
Well, Normandy was on the cover of Tatler. That was when the whole thing
You were
started.
in Normandy?
No, Di, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
I don't know who Normandy is.
Well, have you done your research?
Yes, on you, not on Normandy.
Yes, well, have you done your research? OK, well, I was on the cover with another girl, and they said, these are the it girls of our time.
OK, so there were the celebrity parties. Talk us through those. What were they like? Just weather girls and...
No.
People whose great-great-grandfather had invented acrylan or something? No?
Well, there were those, yes. There are those, but then there's other ones which are...
Because I've been to a couple of these, and it's like you play Celebrity Snap.
It is.
You go up to someone and you say, do you know Baron von Eurotrash? And they go, no. Do you know Bobby von Davro?
Yeah,
and you go, no. And then eventually you find someone you both know, and then you move on and go and play it with someone else.
I know. I don't really play that game very often myself. I mean, the parties came about for when I was doing my column, which I do my column with the Sunday Times, and they wanted a column of the week of the parties I'd been to.
Yeah.
So...
Well, here's something I don't understand, OK? You go to these parties, which is... I know, it's sipping champagne.
It's terrifying, this interview.
I haven't started yet.
Yeah, neither have I.
You go to these parties, OK, and you have a glass of champagne, and then you kind of have a bit of a chat, play Celebrity Snap, and then go home, yeah?
Yes.
Right. Well, how come so many of these celebrities end up in the Priory? Which is the clinic. I mean, is it tough?
Or on the Frank Skinner show.
How bad did it get for you?
It got very bad. There was no doubt about it. It got... I mean, I was in hell. And I felt that I abused a lot of what I had going for me. But, you know, a lot of people who are very famous or well-known or very successful face addiction. And I don't know whether it was... I don't know whether it was a thing of my confidence, because I know in the beginning when I was using, I felt invincible, whether I'd taken whatever I'd taken or whether I had it in my handbag. Just the fact that I had it on me made me feel that I could face anyone, that I'd be interested in anything anyone had to say. And I guess it was me being afraid of disappointing people if they found out what I really was. And it can drive you to just feeling... Well, I don't know, but that's what I felt.
So was it a case of you going to a party and thinking, OK, everyone is going to expect me to be the life and soul, and I'm going to need...
I thought that, and also I felt that if I walked into a room, I kind of had to tell everyone that I could do this and I could do that, and that I, you know, almost sort of hand over a CV to someone without just being able to walk in, be dignified, and be comfortable with myself and just say hello. I was almost selling myself.
Yeah, sure.
You know, and this whole thing, it just got worse and worse, and I was using a lot every single day.
This is cocaine we're talking about?
Yeah. You know, thanks a lot.
It's because I sniffed when I said it. But I'm gonna... So anyway, was it Frank Skinner? So was there a specific cause you to think, I've got to do something about this?
No, it didn't. I mean, funny enough, the Frank Skinner show, which I haven't actually seen yet, I don't dare see it.
No, don't.
No, all right.
Well, you're better on this one.
It's something which, funny enough, I wasn't high when I did it, although I knew I was going to get high straight afterwards, so I was already triggered. You know, my brain was already telling me, which is what they say happens, is your endorphins are already saying, hey, look, in 10 minutes I'm going to be out of here and out of my head, which was, at the time, the most appealing thought to me.
Yeah. So you wound up at a clinic in America?
In America, well, yeah.
What was it like in there?
He was the wardrobe man, but I could think that if I was really homesick at first. I hated it. I also hated it in the way that I thought the party's over. How am I ever going to not use again? I thought I'm going to miss this.
Because it's a correctional institution there. It's not like a clinic in Roehampton, is it? I mean, it's strict, get up, work.
It's strict, it's get up and, I don't want to trigger the sex addicts. You know,
Really?
It's not just drug addicts. Well, no, really, it's not funny. You don't want to, everyone's addiction is something to be respected, really. And if you are a sex addict or something and someone walks in with a really short skirt and who's not wearing a bra and everything's on show, it's like someone sort of whacking a line of coke up your nose when you're clean and saying, oh, sorry, miss.
OK, so you're back.
I'm back.
You're fixed.
And I'm clean.
Good. So we've dealt with the addiction, you're back, you're fixed. What's it like? Still going to the parties?
Yes and no. Not as much as I was. I mean, I was out all night. Now I go out about once or twice a week. And if I do, then I won't stay beyond 11 o'clock or something. I just can't.
So if you go to a restaurant now with friends, say, do you have to plait your legs and not go to the loo in case they think, no, she's at it again?
Yeah, that thought does. I mean, well, as an example, yesterday, I was genuinely not feeling very well because I had a cold, and I cancelled a fitting which I had. And within an hour, the News of the World had rung and said, is it true you've relapsed?
Yeah.
Which is horrible, really.
Yeah. So everyone's waiting for you to fail.
And I said to this person, he rang me, I said, really, you want me to relapse, don't you? And he was very nice, but he said, yeah, because, people are jealous of what you've done. You had it all, and you abused it, and you say you were in hell. Well, addiction is hell. No matter how much money you have, or no matter how many clothes, lovers, whatever you have, whatever you don't know, addiction is the same, whoever you are.
Talking of lovers,
oh, God.
You've just had a really wild time.
I know, the love rat.
Was he?
He wasn't quite what he presented to be.
What do you mean he was a love rat?
Oh, I call him the love rat.
OK, where did you meet him? Let's get
into
this. Where did you meet?
I met him in the south of France.
At?
Mick Jagger's swap.
No, see, exactly. No, don't know him.
Party.
No.
At his birthday. And I met him there. I think of all the people I met there, I had to end up with the rat.
But you got engaged to him.
I know.
In what, 20 minutes?
Well, Jeremy,
it was
you
quick.
may laugh, but I had just come out of a clinic, and I had a great big hole there saying I'm feeling empty, and I feel, that he came at a perfect time, and, well, I'm not going to say he filled the hole, because that sounds disgusting, but he did. But he did. He filled the void.
Which is now empty again.
There was a big gap, and... I'm trying to be really dignified. It's the first time I've done anything since Frank Skinner. I come on here and I say...
So you're going to keep on with the column?
Keep on with the column. I'm hopefully doing something else with the BBC at the moment.
No, we're not plugging. We don't allow plugging on here. I'm trying to think of other things that you can do to prove. You can ski.
I don't have to prove anything.
No, I know, but you can write your column, you can ski brilliantly. I know that, I've been told that. And you won't believe this, everyone, you can play the piano, and properly.
True.
Will you play the piano for us? Just say yes. Yes! Ladies and gentlemen, on keyboards, Tara Palmer-Tomkinson. OK, and talking of speed, you know what the most important thing is in our lives today? Time. We want faster modems, faster faxes, faster planes, faster everything. Sadly, however, news of this need for speed seems not to have reached the office of Jabba the Hutt. Jabba is involved in a one-man war to slow things down. And he's winning. Under the Major administration, the roads were a uniform grey, but not anymore. Jabba has turned them into a technicolour blaze, with priority given to anything he can think of, so long as it isn't a car. We have red routes, we have green routes, we have yellow boxes, and at every junction, a selection of terracotta tiles that Isling Tony has brought back from his holiday in Tuscany. In fact, the only things out there that are still grey are the speed cameras. That's so you can't see them. So you shoot past them at high speed and then you can be fined and they can spend the money on more speed cameras and more cycle lanes. And this will please people of primary coloured anoraks and wheatmeal shoes and beards and a preference for partners of the same genital layout. Of course, there's a reason for all this insanity. Jabba the Gut wants to make motoring so miserable and so expensive that we'll all leave our cars at home and catch a bus, leaving more space on the road for his fleet of Jaguars. So let's just get that straight. You buy a car, you pay the tax, you pay the VAT on the tax, you buy a tax disc, you fill it with fuel, pay the tax on that, and then you're supposed to think, no, I'll leave that at home. Prescott, you deluded Welsh imbecile. You used a car this week to go 8 feet. Understand, man, we will not use buses.
How much would petrol have to go before you'd say, oh, I'm not going to use the car
A
anymore?
hell of a lot, like 10 times.
I think these bus lanes are very confusing and the transport policy is a complete joke.
What do you think of John Prescott?
I think John Prescott's an absolute twat.
Oh, gonna have him round for dinner. Of course, to make the idea of public transport more appealing, we now have the ultimate horror, the M4 bus lane. Prescott says 50 buses an hour use this stretch of motorway, which, hang on a minute, is not even one a minute. And who's using this red carpet ride into town anyway? Well, look, here's a bus taking a Korean flight crew from Heathrow into London for dinner. So lock up your dogs, everyone. And here's another taking French exchange students for an afternoon shoplifting. No one is going to use a bus unless they have an urgent and overwhelming desire to get some chewing gum on their trousers. Or they're rich enough to buy their own bus. Look at that. The Prescott Express. What a great idea.
Yeah. Nah, I got rid of the Ferrari, no, it's too cramped. No, I got a Volvo.
Yeah, sort of estate, yeah.
Okay, take care. Bye.
The beauty of this is that it would drive Prescott insane. I mean, a whole bus for one person, it's so massively wasteful. He'd never allow it. But he is allowing it. The great bus myth is that each one is full of 50 smiling motorists who've left their cars at home. They're not, they're empty. They're just getting in our way, causing more congestion and more pollution, and also some silly old bat can get to the post office a little bit quicker to buy a tin of cat food. The best thing that you can do to get Britain moving again is to ban buses and post police marksmen on motorway bridges to shoot people who are driving too slowly. That's very kind, thank you. Very kind, but we do have a problem here. You see, the last time I did a pro-car, anti-public transport thing on the television, I was taken to the Broadcasting Complaints Commission and I lost. They said I'd been biased. So, this time, we'll hear from the opposition.
So, why are bus lanes such a good idea?
Well, Joe, what you have to do is a traffic incident zone. And clearly, all those forces in this day have long that is where bus lanes come in.
OK, like in the last series, we'll be looking each week at a different country. And this week, it is Iceland. 2 million years ago, it didn't even exist. But then the North American continental... What's that doing here? Let's have America on this one. The South Canada Sea. As I was saying, the North American continental shelf pulled this way and the European continental shelf pulled this way, and the Earth sprang a leak. A whole load of glutinous black pus spewed out and solidified to form what we now call Iceland. Immediately it froze over, but even so, a bunch of Norwegians landed there and thought, this is paradise. We want to call this place home. Since then, nature has done everything in its power to throw them off again. In 1389, one of the 30 active volcanoes, called Mount Helge, blew up, killing nearly everyone. Then, in 1783, after the worst famine in the whole of history, Mount exploded, producing 3 cubic miles of lava. The ash cloud was so enormous it obscured the sun for a year. Now, Icelanders put a brave face on all this geothermal activity, cheerfully telling us that every community has a heated swimming pool. And they're right. But this being Iceland, even the public baths blow up every once in a while. The phrase population explosion has a rather different meaning over there. So why, if there's such a big chance of being blown up, is it my favourite country in the world? Let's take a look. These are Icelandic men. They're big, they're hairy, and they have no dress sense. Most importantly, though, they're away. Flying and bream, and here's what they leave behind. Miss World 1986 was Miss Iceland. Miss World 1988 was Miss Iceland. And on a Friday night, Iceland's beautiful, lonely girls go out, drink themselves stupid, and sleep with whatever happened to have landed at Keflavik that day. And a shag up here is a magnificent thing, because chances are the Earth really will move. They say that when you leave Iceland after a visit, you leave a little part of yourself behind, and they're right. It's the contents of your testicles. So, what about Icelandic food? Well, frankly, the news is not good. I've got some examples of it here. For example, some burnt seals flippers. Or some, I'm not joking, pickled ram's bollocks. This is whale fat. This is cod stomach lining. And this is what I've not been looking forward to all night. It's shark, OK, which has been buried in the ground for 4 months until it starts to ferment. This brings out the juices, ammonia mostly, and it tastes like... Christ almighty. It's like having a SWAT team in your mouth. This isn't funny. So while I'm masticating the taste away, please welcome Iceland's best-known export, ladies and gentlemen, Magnus Magnusson. Magnus, have a seat.
Did you ever get the feeling, Jeremy, that you've been set up? As I do.
I was told this was Icelandic food.
There are some bits of it which are exotic Icelandic foods.
Do you eat this stuff Sunday lunch, or is it more special than that?
Well, there are certain aspects of that which are still eaten regularly. Other things are just made in order to get onto television shows like yours.
I know they eat burnt seal's flipper.
Not often.
But they do. There are seals up there hopping along.
Without flippers.
Exactly. Greenpeace, they're still alive, complain.
Now, Iceland has always been, since the Middle Ages, has been very isolated. It was a colony of Denmark, and we only had 2 ships a year, this kind of thing. So we were thrown very much on our own resources, including seals flippers and things like that.
So they ate those in the winter when they couldn't...
had to. I mean, they had to survive. We ate puffins, we ate sheep's heads, we ate lamb, we smoked it. We ate everything that was eatable. No, we didn't smoke it in that sense.
They do. Did you know that Reykjavik now has, and I think it's the first of its kind in the world, a penis museum?
Yes. We appreciate our national treasures.
These are mostly animal penises, aren't they? Fish penises.
As at present.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of Icelanders will want to donate their
Huge.
national assets to the museum as soon as possible.
Iceland, you know, has the highest rate of illegitimate births in the world. Is it something to do with the surnames?
Well, it's something to do with the fact
Because you don't have surnames in Iceland, do you?
you're patronymics. I mean, in the telephone book, you're listed under your given name, what used to be called your Christian name,
Yeah.
and then your patronymic, i.e. the name of your father or mother with son added on to the end of it, and then your occupation, and then your address. And since you must think of Iceland, Reykjavik in particular, as a village which happens to be a metropolis. It's still the village mentality of knowing everybody. And in the telephone book, it's very easy. There are only 280,000 people. It's terribly easy. You look up Magnus. So now, which Magnus is that? It says, oh, Hack. Oh, my Magnus Magnusson, you see.
Magnus Magnusson.
Yeah.
So Prescott would be idiot.
Also, in Iceland, every cabinet minister is in the phone book. You can phone him up in the evening and say, hey, John, my bus didn't arrive today. I'll see to it, son.
Let's move on to some other differences. Until very recently, beer wasn't available in Iceland, and yet you could buy Scotch and vodka and gin. Why was that?
It was a curious thing. It was a hangover from literally from the days of rather fierce prohibition which they had at the start of the century. Because of the poverty of Iceland, twice a year, the farmers would go to the nearest trading station and they'd buy provisions for 6 months rather, and quite a lot of booze. And they got pissed on the way back and fell into a river and died. That was more or less a pattern.
There was no television on Thursdays.
But what a sensible thing. When Iceland started, it's a very small country, I should say, and when television started, they could only have single manning. And so they needed a day off. So there was no television on Thursdays, and people didn't really miss it very much, because in Iceland, people don't watch television. They watch radio and listen to television. So they didn't really miss television on the Thursdays.
Clever people, too. We were doing a calculation in the office this afternoon that there are, I think, 9 chess grandmasters in Iceland. Now, if you multiplied Iceland's population of, you say, 250,000, to the size of Americans, there'd be 9,000 chess grandmasters, and there's only 25 in America. I know they're the stupidest people on earth, but that's a fairly phenomenal statistic.
The great thing about being a small nation is that you can do an awful lot with statistics. It's the biggest, the smallest, the longest.
Oh, I know, but I love
whether
statistics.
it's a penis museum or whatever. You can do an awful lot with statistics.
I've got the biggest penis. I'll put it in the museum.
Have you?
No, I haven't. A very small one.
Just wondering.
OK, well, you've done very well on your specialist subject. No passes. One quick general knowledge. When's high water in the Solomon Islands?
Pass.
Yes, hopeless. Ladies and gentlemen, Magnus Magnusson. Have a look at this.
There now follows a public information film, Common Sense.
The Fox. Some say it's vermin, no better than a big red rat with spiky teeth. We're told that it kills for pleasure, not just taking one sheep, but a whole flock. We're told that it spreads diseases and that left unchecked, fox numbers would escalate to plague proportions. Others, however, believe that the fox is our friend, a welcome visitor from the natural world to the bleak, nighttime cityscape. At worst, a bushy-tailed rascal and in no way deserving of a fate like this. Hunting with hounds, we're told, is cruel and barbaric. But in this world of hate and conflict, of starvation, fear and hunger, there is one question that we must ask ourselves. Fox hunting, does it really fucking matter? The kitchen. It takes up a quarter of your house and you use it for what? An hour a day? Well, why not make it double up as a playroom? There are a number of items you don't need. Sticky back plastic, an empty fairy liquid bottle, or your parents' permission. But you do need a microwave oven. As a tool for cooking things, I admit it's dull. But as a toy, it's a PlayStation. Let's start, shall we, with a plate full of ordinary silver foil. We just pop it in there like that, and we turn it on. What have we got? Oh, look at that! Indoor fireworks. It's like having a Jean-Michel Jarre concert in your kitchen. Right, that's enough. You see, the problem is we all know that we're not supposed to put tin foil in a microwave. But what about an egg? Delia Smith says that you should cook this for 4.5 minutes by putting it in a pan of boiling water. I say, Delia, we can do it a lot faster than that. Oh, look at the poor little egg. Oh, it's going round and round and doesn't know what's going to happen. It was a bit quick. Can we get that back in slow motion? We can, apparently. Here we go. Look at that! It's like the title sequence of Doctor Who. Marvellous. Now we'll stop that. Have you ever lain awake at night wondering what would happen if you plugged a pickled gherkin into the mains? I have. So, let's find out, shall we? We put the live wire in there, and we put the neutral wire in there. So I'll just get this arranged properly, okay? And then we are going to hit it with 240 of Her Majesty's finest volts. Look at it! That's just amazing! Coming soon to the Ann Summers Winter Collection. That's enough of that. Apparently it's got something to do with the sodium, if you want to know. Ask. Now, those of you who go to the cinema may have noticed something happening in recent years. The Americans make a perfectly decent film, then pour treacle all over the ending. Now, I want to talk about this to my next guest, the presenter of what next year, I presume, will be called Film Naught. Ladies and gentlemen, Jonathan Ross.
I tell you what, I'd like to retire to Iceland with Tara Palmer-Tomkinson and a pickle.
She wouldn't need you if she had that pickle. OK, now, have you seen Titanic?
I have seen Titanic, sir. I've survived that journey.
And the ending of it is, let's face it, rubbish. I mean, the guy dies, he sinks, the film should be over. But no, we have all this syrup poured all over the ending.
You really didn't like the ending?
No. Did you?
Well, not overly, but it probably wasn't meant for us. big, grumpy, middle-aged blokes. I mean, it's the sort of movie that, you know, teenage girls go along and cry because Leonardo drowns at the end.
He's not Leonardo. It's Norman Lamont in a younger period.
Norman Lamont is so happy right now that you've said that. It's not a terribly good ending, right? But I suppose part of the problem is those movies are made for that cost, what, over $100 million? Yeah. And it's a business, so they want to make their money back. So they don't really want people leaving the cinema going, yeah, it's a good movie, but, oh, the ending. So sad.
Because they have these focus groups now, don't they? Test audiences, who, thankfully, I read, have just cut out the Kevin Costner full frontal thing. They laughed. The audience laughed when they saw his willy. And he's taken it out.
So many of your paranoid delusions come out on this programme, Jeremy.
Willies, mostly, isn't it?
Yeah, on the
we'll
way
get
out...
on to breasts for you later.
Magnus, on the way out there, Magnus bumped into me. He asked me if I'd donate something to a museum. I didn't quite know what he was saying.
The world's smallest. OK, well, look, let's... Because they're not... It's not all happy, is it? Because we have, of course, Meryl Streep.
Yeah, we do. There's always Meryl.
Now, let me just ask you a question. You're a big film buff, I know this. Name a film where she doesn't blub from start to finish.
There's a film, I think it's called Wild River, or River Wild. It's called River Wild.
Ooh, there was a bit of a...
Yeah. Was there?
Oh, I think there was a bit of a moment.
So? I don't know. She was
Silkwood, I think, is the only one where she managed to get from start to finish with it, and she got her... Not to put too fine a point on.
Because, I mean, I've got a bit more circumspect now doing the show, but previously, when I went to see a movie, unless there was a car chase and I saw some breasts, I couldn't relax. You know, even if it was like Thor the Herd, as long as I saw some breasts, even if it was a fat Japanese man, I had to see nipple before I thought I had my money's worth. Now, you know, now I've pulled back a tiny bit.
OK, let's just get back to this sentimentality business that we find in American blockbusters particularly. Dogs. Independence Day. A blast so enormous it lifts a fire engine up and sweeps it down a tunnel. A dog is unaffected. And then we have Armageddon, where a meteorite lands on a dog, which is then not dead. And Lethal Weapon, they turn that caravan into Emmental cheese, but the dog pops up at the end and has not been hit by any of the bullets. Why is that? Why are they so obsessed with
Dogs form a very large proportion of the cinema-going audience in America. And they daren't alienate them. I mean, there's a lot of dog cash out there. There's a lot of puppy money out there. I have no idea. I have no idea. They don't want to offend the feeble-minded or the elderly. I have no answers for that. But I do notice that you obviously watch movies in a very different way to anyone else I know. No one else I know came out of Armageddon going, but the dog survived. How come the dog lived? You see, one of the best spectacle movies of the year.
You liked it?
I liked Armageddon.
But look at how it treated the rest of the world.
But that's good. It's made by Americans. They don't even know what goes on outside. You watch the American news, they don't even talk about England or Europe. I mean, they think I'm sure they think we all live together in a tent somewhere and that's it. They have no idea that we have lives of our own. In Independence Day, when they're going to go and get the aliens and they cut to the English, and I think it's Douglas Bader they've dug up for the occasion, with a pipe going, jolly good, what are the Americans up to? And no one's spoken like that for 50 years. But I kind of like that once again because there's something reassuring in their simple take on the world. You know, it makes me fear them less.
History, of course, isn't safe in the Americans' hands either.
Yeah, I know, it's a terrible thing, and they have rewritten history. I mean, Saving Private Ryan, once again, you know, you might as well be that we weren't even there. But, I mean, that is that kind of, I suppose it's, once again, they're making a movie for an American audience. They don't think they really want to see us. I'm sure they will rewrite every aspect of our history before.
Columbus, if they ever remake that, he'll be an American. Hey, I'm home!
It'll be the story of Jesus Christ, and Jesus will have come from Idaho. and they'll so want to have Americans in the film. All the Romans will be Americans as well.
And baddies, too.
Baddies you can see from the beginning. Nowadays, they might as well almost give them a wax moustache they can twiddle. Once again, in Titanic, as soon as the boyfriend walks on screen, you think, he's a bad guy.
He is, and do you know how we know he's a bad guy? He lights a cigarette. This is the key now. All baddies in all American films smoke. That's how we know they're
I didn't
bad.
realise that was the case. Not being a smoker myself, obviously I'm not being tarred by that particular brush.
You should smoke.
I smoke the cigar occasionally.
No, it's not enough. You should smoke cigarettes.
OK. I think I might start. I'm going to start with the patches and work my way up.
Okay.
Easy and gently.
And then they like the smoking. And then you'll notice this smoking business, because as soon as someone lights up in a film, you go, he's the baddie and I want a cigarette.
So once again, you watch movies in a most peculiar way. You ever sit back and just enjoy a film?
No, because they do baddies English smoking.
Yes, yeah, you see, that this I do find somewhat worrying, is the fact that it used to be that when there was an American movie with a bad guy in, it was almost always a Russian. because they feared the Russians. And then suddenly the Russians were no longer a threat. And I think they now see Russia as an area which they can colonise. It's one of the last places on earth where there aren't loads of McDonald's and Coca-Cola plants. And we've already got more than our fair share, so they're not worried about us anymore. So now they'll make us the villains.
Yeah.
So you get the nicely spoken Englishman, presumably with a cigarette,
inevitably.
occasionally a moustache, and they're the bad guy.
And that was in Independence Day as well. When they went to the Iraqi the fighter squadron waiting for instructions from the Americans on how to shoot these spaceships down, they had English accents.
Yeah, but they see Americans, Iraq, Ipswich, it's all the same to them. They cannot differentiate. You've got two 16-year-old boys writing that movie in a trailer in a Hollywood park somewhere. Yeah, somewhere that sounds a bit funny.
Yeah, exactly.
That was my American accent, by the way.
We could write an American film in like 2 seconds. I mean, you just start off with, you've got to go back in there one more time, you know.
That's a good line.
It's...
Well, if this were an American movie, we'd be brothers.
Yeah.
I think. Possibly separated at birth.
Yeah.
But unaware of the connection.
But you're waking up with nightmares. That's the important thing. You have the nightmares, and I come and say, the report cleared you.
And I'd say something back to you, which I've never heard ever said in real life, but it's in movies a lot. And I don't really know what this means. Stop blowing smoke up my arse. They say that in American films all the time. Now, you being a smoker, me not, we could probably pull that off.
We could.
But I don't know what it means and what it symbolises in the script.
Because then I go, hey, you the man. Which I don't understand either. What does you the man mean?
I think it's just more specific than you're a man.
You're a man makes sense. You're a man.
But it's not very dramatic, is it?
No, it isn't.
Hey, you're a man.
OK, I'd have to go for the... If you did the... I'd go... Your mouth's writing checks your body can't cash.
Maybe I'd retort with, he's good. Maybe too good. How can someone be too good?
So how do we end this film, then? How do we end this show?
Well, I think we'd find out that having been brothers separated at birth, having bad dreams, that we'd both actually, unbeknownst to the other, had very selfish intercourse with Tara Palmer-Tomkinson.
So I'm just enjoying that thought. You keep going.
And although we believed him to be dead all along, we are reunited tearfully with our father, Magnus Magnusson, in the Penis Museum.
That's it.
That's all you need.
You've got a film. Ladies and gentlemen, Jonathan Ross. And that's it. See you again next Sunday. Bye.